have a little bit of a flick through the French newspapers now. Carl Brown's with us here on set. Some disturbing news from Algeria. This is in L'Humanité today.
That's right, in the north of Algeria. A story about a 36-year-old man who was surprised by the police. He was breaking his fast very briefly, had a bit of water, a bit of bread, and police stormed in. He was apparently beaten, according to L'Humanité, and detained for several hours, and he was warned that it would be a much longer detention if he were to keep that up. And he said that he was all the more surprised because he had seen in Algeria, in different towns, young people breaking the fast rather regularly, so he wasn't quite, he didn't understand why at all he was being treated in that way. But as I say, it was L'Humanité reports this case as it's not at all isolated. They said that there have been reports of other people being detained, questioned for breaking the fast.
And fasting also causing controversy here in France.
Yes, Le Figaro, we can see the front page there, but it's a story inside about the fasting controversy caused in France when a couple of minders at camps, a couple of camp leaders, were suspended for fasting during Ramadan. So in this case, they were got in trouble for fasting because they were seen to have been putting in jeopardy the safety, the health and safety of the young people, the children that they were in charge of, because they were seen to be, a possible threat if they were to faint or to lack energy or to run into trouble as a result of a lack of food or water. Now, what happened, of course, this is in Gennevilliers. It's a little camp vacation spot just north of Paris. What happened was they were suspended as a result of this because they had a breakfast with one of the regional managers. The regional manager noticed that they weren't eating at all, asked them about it, and they said they're fasting for Ramadan, obviously, and they were questioned about it, and they said, well, listen, you wouldn't interrogate a bus driver or a train driver as to whether they're fasting. So, we should be respected for our religious right to fast as well. And what happened was the very next day, this is a couple of weeks ago now, they were suspended, but it unleashed such a firestorm in the media that the mayor of Gennevilliers decided actually to recant and to say, okay, we're no longer going to suspend you, and as a result of that, they basically said, okay, we'll put into place some measures so that people are kept safe, but we'll allow fasting to continue during Ramadan.
Okay, we're talking of summer holiday camps. It's almost summertime for the government.
Yes. Now it's basically like a kind of a look back report card on the class of 2012 on the government, and in particular, top of the list, the best student is seen as Jérôme Cahuzac. That's in Le Parisien. They said he had to find billions of euros in savings this year to make up for the famous budgetary shortfalls, and it's about 7 billion in tax increases that amounted to. So Le Parisien kind of measures that up, saying, well, whatever you think about the justice or not of the actual rise in taxes, it was pretty impressive to come up with those kinds of measures in just a matter of weeks, really. We have to remember it's only been 11 weeks in power, this government. And, but of course, it's not across the board that the class of 2012 is getting such glowing reviews.
No, Le Figaro, not surprisingly, not being quite so enthusiastic.
No, and here we do have the front page again. I won't give you any false starts on this one. We have right here 7 billion euros in taxes. We have the rise in tax, but very little in savings. So Le Figaro is quite upset because they see it as an imbalanced approach to making the budget, straighten out the budget. And so as a result, we have they cite pensioners in particular, saying after being taxed all their lives on the wages, being taxed all their lives through all the various taxes we're all too aware of in France, well, now the pensioners themselves are hit with a heavy tax as well, because pensions just one of the measures to be taxed just as all the other revenues. So they say, listen, it's going to be falling on the backs of the French elderly.
Carl Brown, thanks very much. That's Carl Brown with the French newspapers here on France 24. Do stay with us. More news coming up.